All right, so let's go ahead and do it one more time, allowing you to get a little bit different perspective and viewpoint. We're going to do the same thing we just did on this side of the body as well. So we're going to begin with the ankle mobilization. Okay? So 3, stretching it down, stretching it up and around, being firm with the circles here and really stretching the calf. We're going to go 3 to 4. In each direction. Okay, squeeze the heel. We're going to compress the heel with our fingers, slowly coming up to the middle of the foot, all the way up to the ball, and then the fingers, or the toes, compressing with our fingers the entire time. We'll go up and down 2 to 3 times. Going just a little bit quicker on this part since you're already familiar with this. Okay, squeeze the heel again. We're going to do toe compression circles along the toes. And then the ball of the foot, working our way down to the heel. Okay? Okay. Now we're going to do compression circles on the Achilles, being real soft on this one, especially if the client is more tender and sensitive, being cautious of their skin. Okay, now we're going to squeeze the ankle and stretch up into the hip flexor. For about 10 seconds, then we'll bring it back down. Now we're going to head and select our vibration tool, and we're going to start with the foot. Okay, so you're going to use you have one hand under the foot to support it while you vibrate the toes gently, and then we'll work our way up to the ball of the foot. Okay, and longer fluid strokes. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do, start at the bottom of the calf, stretch the foot up, and stretch the foot down as you're bringing the vibration down to the top of the calf, all the way to the back of the knee, okay? And you can put more pressure as you're on the calf muscle, okay? A little bit less pressure as you work your way to the back of the knee. Okay, really stretching the foot at the bottom here. We're gonna do this 3 or 4 times. Then we're going to go ahead and work our way to the outside or the inside of the calf, getting different angles, and then working our way this side as well. Okay, getting the back of the knee, stretching the foot up. All right, now we're going to go ahead and start at the top of the hamstring. As we lower the foot, we'll move the vibration down to the bottom of the hamstring, covering the back of the knee just a little bit. Stretching the foot as far as we have room. Bringing the vibration down just a little bit. Okay, getting a little bit different angle. As you come outside, you're able to stretch the foot further because the gun is no longer in the way. Okay, we'll work our way back to the middle. and then the inside of the hamstring. Okay. Now we're going to work up the IT band. If the client's hand's in the way, feel free to just move it. We're going to start right below the knee, pressing the foot into internal hip rotation, then work our way up the hip, avoiding the hip bone as we pull the foot back to neutral. Okay, so stretch it across, internal rotation, bring it back to neutral. We'll do this 3 or 4 times. Okay, as we now compress the glute, we'll go ahead and hold the gun, support the foot as we compress. Okay, internally rotate the foot, compress the glute, support the foot as it externally rotates just a tad. Not pulling the foot out, just allowing it to move naturally, just kind of guiding and supporting it, not letting it fall down. Okay, so go in one more time, compress, and what we're going to do is start at the top of the glute, work our way down, hamstring and calf in one long rhythmic fluid stroke. Okay, coming back up, the hamstring all the way up to the top of the glute. Okay, we'll do that one more time. All the way down and back up. Long fluid strokes. Okay, sometimes their clothes will get kind of caught up in here. That's why we're using the flat one. It tends to slide on the clothes, but you'll still have to adjust things as you're working into it. So now that we're done with the hamstring and IT band, we're going to go on the top of the hip bone here. We're not going to be hitting the hip bone, but we're going to go on the outside of the glute. From the inside of the glute, from the outside of the hip, all the way up to kind of the mid glute here, okay? So on the inside of the glute, just a tad, going down towards the outside. So depending on what kind of shorts they have on, if it's too tough to come down in the middle of the glute, feel free just to kind of do the top of it, like so. So kind of the top of the glute towards the outside of the hips. And if you need to, you can use 2 hands to stabilize it and get a little bit of pressure and just make it a little bit more smooth, okay? So you kind of have to do what feels best for you, is whatever you need to do to make it effective for the client as well, okay? So once we're done with that, we're going to do a long stroke on the inside of the leg, all the way up the hip, IT band, avoiding the knee, and down the side of the calf twice. Okay? So now we're going to move on to the erectors. So we're going to go up the same side that we're on. Okay, if you need to use 2 hands, you can. We're going to do long fluid strokes down the back, up to the scapula, and then we're going to go all the way up to the traps here, okay? As you get up towards the neck, be careful because it starts to be a little bit more intense. So you can put more pressure on the lower back. Use 2 hands if you need to stabilize. And you're going around the scapula, okay? Be careful as you get closer to their neck, okay? So if you need to, you can use their hands, your other hand, to find their scapula, as well as you're moving up to the traps, you may need to position yourself a little bit differently. Okay, and you're avoiding the bottom of the hip bone here, as well as the scapula, so we're going up to the traps one more time. And we're going to now kind of circle the scapula around to the traps. Into the lats, okay? So get the lats very nice and complete. So you might have to transition the way that you're standing. And we're going to move into the deltoids, okay? So we're going to go up and down the arm, focusing on the deltoids for just a second. So we'll go up and down, getting all the different angles of the posterior deltoid, the anterior deltoid, and the lateral deltoid, okay? So now we're going to go up the arm to the forearm. Get the forearm, again avoiding the joints, avoiding the elbow, and then going into the hand. We're going to support the hand with one hand as we vibrate the fingers and hand. Okay, go back up. Now we're going to move into the tricep. So we're going to go down the shoulder, bend the tricep, come closer to the elbow as you're bending, extend it at the top. As you bend the elbow, bring the vibration down, raise the vibration up higher at the top. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do a long stroke from the top of the back. Once you get to the top, come out to the side just a little bit to stay on all the meaty muscle area. All the way down, one long fluid stroke. Up the glute, the middle of the glute, coming out to the outside just a little bit to move into the lower back. Back up, all the way up to the traps. And back down one more time. Now we're going to go on the outside of the body as well. Okay, so that's what we're going to do with the vibration. Then we're going to go ahead and use our forearm to compress the traps. And then roll onto the top and back, applying more pressure as you roll on top. Okay, 3 or 4 times. Then we're going to go ahead and take the hand, support the rear delt, compress it, stretch the hand up. Okay. Now we're going to place the hand behind the back, support the hand, shoulder, rotate backward, and then decompress the shoulder down. Okay, stretch it across, decompress the shoulder down. Stretch the elbow and shoulder behind the body across, decompress the shoulder down. Okay, we'll do this 3 or 4 times. We'll compress the rear delt and the hand slightly. And that concludes this part of the sectional training. And the next sectional training, we'll have the client flip over on their back with their head on the table. Okay, so at this point you'll set the vibration gun down at the end of the feet. It'll already be there. And just type the client on the back and then ask them to roll over for you.